Hey, Norman from Be Technical here. We're going to talk about a couple of different things in this video. We're going to talk about motor parameters and running the drive in local mode. Okay? Motor parameters are probably one of the most important parameters that you will enter into the actual drive. Okay? You need to look at the motor nameplate and you need to get the voltage, the frequency, the current, the RPM. Possibly it may ask you for the power factor of the motor. You need to take that information and you need to enter it into the drive before you do anything. It's very important that you enter the correct current value so that the drive can protect the motor from a sustained overload. Okay, so that again, very, very important. The drive will use the current value that you enter from that nameplate to protect that motor. If you know the actual running current of the motor, if you know, you can go into the drive and you can run it and you can monitor the current, and if you know the load is fixed, you can actually even adjust that current to a closer value to protect the motor, and it's called the motor thermal current protection. And we are going to get into that in our training. You're going to learn how to read the actual motor current and set your protection current closer to that value so that we have an extra margin of safety for protecting our equipment. Okay, so that's the motor parameters. So I've already set this drive up, so we're good to go. One of the other things that I want to talk about is running the drive in local mode. There's two ways that we can control the drive. We can control it using remote devices like a temperature actuated switch, a pressure switch, or a float switch, or it could be an HMI device like a selector switch or a push button, or any device to control it remotely. So in some cases you may want to just control it locally, okay, for troubleshooting reasons, or you may have an application like a mixer or a food processor, a little conveyor, or even a little drill press where you want to just operate it from the drive keypad and you don't need any remote devices. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do that. So here's your manuals. This is where you'll get the information for setting up your motors. Very important. Okay, now, in order to run it locally, you have to open up this door. Okay, there's a little cover that you can take out that gives you access to the stop and start buttons. You open the cover and there's a mode button. Okay, you hold that mode button for 3 seconds. Okay, now it's going to switch from local to remote, and you're going to see scrolling LEDs on the left hand side, right? It says ready, so it's ready to receive a run command. I'm going to give it a run command, start button, and away it goes. Now, what speed reference is it using? Well, you just use this jog dial in the front, okay? So if your jog dial is all the way down to 0, and I'm going to stop it, so I'm ready. If I give it a run command, it's actually, you have given it a run command and it says 0 because you haven't told it how fast to go. So now I'm going to scroll it up. You can see the speed of the motor. Okay. Now this type of control provides low voltage protection. So if there were a power failure, so if I were to interrupt the main supply to the controller, okay, USF is under voltage. I'm going to bring it back on, energize the mains for the motor MCR controller. It's going to start up in a safe condition. So for metalworking equipments like that little drill press that I mentioned, you're drilling away, you have a power failure, or you trip out a circuit breaker, or somebody else trips out a circuit breaker. When they reset that circuit, it will resume power and it will be in a safe position. So I can just go ahead and hit start, and away we go. Okay? Start and stop. And we've got braking set up, so you notice how quickly that stopped. So I'm going to start it up, slow it down, hit stop. Okay. Now if you want to go back to remote mode, so you want to exit local mode and let your field devices take over, if you have field devices connected, then you have to hit the stop button because you can't change it while it's running. Open up the door to the drive, hold it for 3 seconds, and you're back to remote mode. Good to go. Thanks for watching.